So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the truth of who we are, because we are born into the false matrix, which, you know, cuts us off from our own divinity. It doesn't we forget that we are multidimensional creator beings, creators of realities. That's who we are. You know, I'm really just connecting to that. Whilst I always believed we were more than we were told, I still couldn't fully understand in my mind who we really are. You know, the power that we hold. You know, we're really indoctrinated in this life to feel less than, to feel small, to not feel good enough. So once we start awakening to the truth of who we are, once we start to experience ourselves as multidimensional beings, which is what I'm doing right now, so I'm experiencing that. Once you start to experience yourself as a multidimensional being, then you're starting to embody it. So there was a long time when I could understand it, or I say understand it because you can't really understand your multidimensionality with your logical brain. It's just not possible. It's too limited to understand fully, but you can kind of understand intellectual concepts about your multidimensionality, but until you start to embody it, then it's hard for you to live from that place of being. And that is understandable, right? We can't just start to awaken to be multidimensional beings and just be able to instantly embody it. Or maybe some people can, and that's great. I certainly couldn't. And even now that I am experiencing myself as a multi-dimensional being, and I'm experiencing time in a much different way because I'm stepping out of the time matrix, and I'm experiencing time so differently, and I'm experiencing myself as the multidimensional being, even though I'm experiencing it. So now I'm being able to more embody it now, and being able to sit with it. I still sometimes feel those lack programmings trying to pull me down and tell me, you know, put doubt into me and tell me, no, that's not who you are. So as we go through this journey, we are going to feel like that times. It's going to feel scary to face who we really are, to embrace who we really are, because we're going to be in a little bit of fear at times that embracing who we are, saying who we are, we're going to get ridiculed and we're going to get mocked, because, you know, you would have done as a child, you know, just going back 5-10 years, you would have get ridiculed for that. You know, we're in a place now where many of us are awake to this, and many people are awakening to it, and we're all at different levels, and that's no one's further, or, you know, that doesn't mean anything. We're all the same, we're all equal, and we all are multidimensional beings. In fact, you know, something that came to me the other day, which so I've been going in more and more about the fact that, you know, part of our so we have an oversoul called some people call it the monadic structure, which is like a collective consciousness of all of our different incarnations and lives and things that we have experienced, and you know, I saw a metaphor and I thought this was almost the perfect way to explain it. So think about a tree. So a tree and all of its branches, and the tree has apples on. So the tree and all of its branches and the apples are one. They're one consciousness. But once that apple falls from the tree, it becomes individualized, and there's a point of focus and a cohesive intention and focus and energy that goes with the apple into the apple. So then the apple has its own perspective. Now that apple can then be taken back. Imagine the apple then being taken back onto the tree. It brings back those experiences, those memories back to the tree, and that's what we are like. So we are an oversoul, a monadic structure that is connected to the Godhead, to source consciousness. When we're in that dimensionality, we are connected to the unified field of all. We are collected to our own monad. So all of the different lives that we have lived are collected and taken back to our monad, and we can tap into those experiences. All of those experiences, all of those memories expand the whole monad, the whole collective. So when I was sort of talking about this with my niece the other day, and I was kind of saying, like, you know, I always kind of saw it as, okay, I knew that we incarnated, but I still saw us as being separate, but we really are not separate. It's like we are a drop of an ocean. It's like, so we have this oversoul. So me as Corinne and you as you can experience your life, and then as you leave the body and take back your memories to your oversoul, well, who else is in your oversoul? It could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your partner, it could be your sister, it could be your brother. So in that perspective, you are one. You are the same. So I was saying to my niece, like, you know, I mean, I know for sure we think we're separate, but we're not separate. We are connected. But I feel we're even more connected, right, if they're part of your monadic structure, because it's almost like your monad is this big collective consciousness, and it fractals into all these parts and all these points of focus, all these points of attention. And I'm a point living my life and collecting my experience, and my niece is a point living her life and collecting hers, and my friend is, and then we all come back to the whole, to the unified field, and we can share our experiences and share our memories because we're all one. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. You know, I don't actually know if that is the truth fully. I do know that we are part of an oversoul. I don't know if my niece and that are part of my oversoul or not, but that is potentially, and even if they're not a part of, even if the person that you're working with at work, or you know, you're in a relationship, if it's not part of your direct oversoul, they're still part of an oversoul, and ultimately we're all connected at the Godhead. So if you go up a step, you know, everybody you meet, every grain of sand, every blade of grass is you, is us. We are all part of that same fabric of consciousness. And that is the consciousness, the unity consciousness that we are waking up to right now. We're going back into the organic, divine template, out of the inverted false matrix that's cut us off from our divinity, and we're remembering we are multidimensional beings, and we're remembering we are all connected. And also, when you open up to this, you start to experience synchronicities on steroids, and you understand there are no coincidences. Everybody comes into your life, every experience you have is there, connected in some way to you. It's there to teach you something, or you're there to teach somebody else, or simultaneously, which is often the case, we are teaching each other and we are growing together. So you can have people in your life, so when you think about it this way, you can have someone in your life that agreed to be annoying, let's just say, agreed to be pretty not nice and awful, and they could have agreed to be that for you so that you could learn self-respect, so that you could learn self-love. So when you think of it that way, we can have more compassion for those people, we can forgive those people, we don't have to hold on to those grudges, we can let them go, and we can start to interact with everybody in our life. Imagine interacting with everybody in your life, thinking that they are part of your oversoul, part of your monadic structure. They are you, and you are them, in essence. Obviously, when we've created these individualized intention points, they still exist in the monadic structure. However, we are still all connected as one unified feel. So imagine like holding that in your conscious awareness, and that's where we're going to, right, anyway, but imagine bringing that more and more into your life. How would that change your life?